Once again, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. 3 rounds. This is the welterweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, is a mixed martial artist standing 6 feet even. Official weight, 169 pounds. As a professional in 14 fights, he has 10 victories and 4 defeats. From Gothenburg, Sweden, by way of Faro, Portugal, here is Domingos Mestre. And next his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Also a mixed martial artist, he too stands 6 feet even. Weighing in officially 169 3/4 pounds. This veteran professional brings 14 victories and 10 defeats. Hailing from Sao Paulo, Brazil, here is Mauro Chimento. Referee in charge, Mark Gunner.
Mark Goddard stands between the two fighters. This welterweight contest scheduled for 3 fights. We have Domingos Mestre in the black wrestling trunks and Mauro Chimento in the black shorts. And they are underway. Domingos Mestre really looking to make a point this evening under his new team. He's been getting some coaching off of Babek Najed, who's actually a wrestling coach for the Black Zillions, and Alistair Overeem with his brother Arasto Najad.
Very, very long body type for Domingos Mestre. Huge limbs on him, holding his guard very wide and open, really showing that those big outside hooks are blocked and encouraging the shots straight down the middle of the pipe.
Yeah, I really like the way that he fights on the ground, Josh. Very good with his reversals, very strong in top control. Jumps all over Darce chokes as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the limb length for those, for certain. I mean, good steady top control is worth so much nowadays, just not letting the guy get back up and just time on top, wearing him down.
But an interesting foe with Chimento. Speaking with Paul Sutherland, they manage Chimento. They probably don't see him in the gym quite as much as they'd like to. So I'd imagine that there's a bit of a bias towards perhaps the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu preparations.
I mean, what he has got is a bit of a killer instinct. You know, he does really flurry when he knows he's got his opponent hurt, but it's getting to that point.
He's got quite an even record with 5 submission wins, 4 TKO wins, sort of mixing up that Chinese black belt with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off 2 losses though now, so you got to start wondering what's he want to do to try and bounce back from those. Has he got a point to prove? It's a tough ask against someone like Domingos Mestre, though. Very controlled exchanges so far from both these guys, just finding the home for the point strikes at the moment.
Yeah, I think you see a bit more of like the karate, almost karate point fighting stance of Domingos Mestre, although he's got his hands modified for mixed martial arts a little bit higher. Whereas Chimento is slightly more Western boxing in his stance.
Yeah, mixing up the kicks well, throwing to the inside and the outside, turned the hip over nicely on that one.
Yeah, good combination to set up that kick. Mestre using his range nicely with the jab. Good body kick. We can actually see the redness all the way across the midriff of Domingos Mestre. He's had a little timeout as well, so this first round might be slightly tentative for him.
I mean, interesting that they have that obviously common appearance on that Fight Night card together, so they both know what travelling out here to the Middle East is like, and
yeah, pass one another in the halls.
Indeed.
Portuguese.
Wonder if they shared a changing room on that outing.
Yeah, you never know. Always keep your eye open. You never know what you might learn and who you might face. Oh, that body kick off the front foot is working really nicely for Chimento. He's turning it in as well, which is getting just enough power.
And I like that Shusha is starting to show some sort of hip feints. It's one thing to sort of pump a bit of an air jab to feint, but just twitch in the hip to make him think about the kicks coming as well.
Maigari kick there from Mestre.
He's got the body type to really take advantage of those type of strikes.
I actually saw a commercial which featured Mauro Chimento, and it sort of was playing on the fact that he might have had some pretty serious breakages, like I think his leg and his hand. He's recovered, and his journey. It was quite nice to see him in that. If that was the story that they were trying to portray, he's obviously come back from adversity and is still keen to make an impression on the circuit.
But I think he's looking faster than we've seen him before. I think it's fair to say, John. He's looking a bit,
he's looking really
more lively, a bit more snap in his strikes.
Yeah, his body kick's really working, Josh. He's brought the hands down and he's able to get through over the top.
Yeah, he's the one certainly pushing the pace and finding the home at the moment, but they clinch for the first time.
Last 10 seconds as this one comes alight.
Good underhook from Mestre. Wrist fighting to try and block those knees.
Very intelligent start from Chimento. He's really landing that body kick very nicely indeed.
Yeah, good flurry to really put an exclamation point on the end of that round there.
Yeah, the body kick, it was bringing the hands down ever so slowly from Mestre, and as he did bring those hands down, he seized the opportunity to go over the top. There's a body kick there, and if you look closely, you can really see the reddening.
The kicks were a great weapon for Chimento. He landed a good variety, and there was the left hand that found the mark, set up that big overhand right.
So as we see, August Wallen in the corner. He would have some wise words for his young fighter, his new fighter, who'll be looking to represent himself and his new team the best that he possibly can.
Round 2, guys, ready?
28 fight veteran is Mauro Chimento, as you said, starting in the early 2001, his pro debut.
Long time as a professional fighter, a lot of experience. Going to know how to pace himself through 3 5-minute rounds. Of course, Domingos Mestre, 7 of his 10 wins are by decision, so no stranger to the full 15 either.
Yeah, this is definitely an improved version of Chimento. I mean, yes, take nothing away from it. We saw how good Benny Alloway was in the Ultimate Fighter series. In that fight, he really did find his range very nicely and had Chimento on the back foot, really outpowered him. But Chimento looks a lot better off of the front foot, in fact, and that's where he's having some success tonight. You don't often see guys having that success off of the front foot, just coming off the front foot to the body. People try and switch it up, get a bit more power behind it, which therefore slows it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can really execute it as more of a karate-style kick, really fire the quadricep and try and flick the shin and still generate a fair bit of power that way, but it's just a different style of kicking.
Yeah, well, the karate is that you land with the ball of the foot, and it is a tie kick when you turn in and thud in that shin. Oh, Chimento with some good dirty boxing.
No intention
moves out of way.
No intention from either fighter to take this fight to the floor yet, so clearly both corners happy with exchanging on the feet.
Yeah, respecting the ground game of the opposition. Well, Chimento is obviously with the brown belt credentials, having success on the feet, not needing to go and try out the submission skills.
2 minutes.
Oh, that's good from Mestre. He finds a home for that right hand, finally came straight down the middle. He's got such a... I feel he's probably got a bit of a reach advantage. It'd be nice to see him try and put 2 or 3 very straight punches together and see if they can find a home like he did there.
Yeah, it was a piercing right hand, and he doubled up on it as well. Yeah, the jab being used, so he knows he's in range. Once again, it's getting through.
The kicking game of Chimento is what's separating the fighters at the moment. He's landing to the midsection, he's landing to the legs, he's landing to the inside, the outside. And
a good right hand as he comes across the body.
He's mixing them up with the upper body strikes as well, so a very accomplished striking performance from the Brazilian.
Yeah, he looks really relaxed in there, Josh. He's having fun, enjoying his handiwork. Blocking very nicely. Good movement on the outside. Good lateral movement to counter off of as well, as we just saw. Yeah, Mestre maybe needs to use some of this range fighting a little bit better. Keep him on the end of some of those weapons.
Yeah, or at least he's got to throw those long-range shots to force a reaction in which he can close the distance and really get into a more powerful striking range.
Yeah, we don't see Mestre throw many feints. We see him popping up and down, but now he decides to take it down.
Yeah, good catch of the kick and a block of the leg behind, looking for the triangle now, switching to the omoplata, and then to the leg lock. Well, this is fantastic scrambles from Chimento. Almost face plants during the attempted takedown.
Really nice scrambles from both guys. And they land back on their feet.
Well, I mean, how fast was the triangle attempt from Chimento? He got his hips up straight away, immediately, as soon as he felt the posture of Mestre go up. He switched to the omoplata, felt that was perhaps a little loose. Immediately looked to roll back for the knee bar or the leg lock off it, then pursued up to try and attack the back and get a takedown of his own. I mean, it was hustle and hustle and hustle from the Brazilian.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome grip strength as well, Josh, deep into the fight to be able to latch on.
Oh, arm in guillotine, rolling to mount.
Tap. It is all over. The rolling guillotine took it from the top, and that brings an end to the contest. Mauro Chimento is victorious.
Well, I think once Chimento sensed he could have some success in those grappling exchanges, he jumped on that guillotine.
Yeah, really decent showing there from the Brazilian. He had the measure of Mestre in all ranges this evening.
Very complete performance. Great stand-up fighting. You know, hit well, particularly with the feet, but also with the hands as well. And, you know, we saw one great scramble immediately. He jumped on the guillotine, and as soon as he rolled to mount, he was able to the body do anything except tap with it.
Earlier
there for his own takedown, and here we're going to see the finish. Arm in guillotine,
had the neck secured nicely,
and here you see how he rolls. He traps the arm as he goes. And
had beautifully
any
done.
kind of defense.
Great stuff. Well, to make it all official, I'm going to throw it over.
Submission by Chimento Jr.